at the Albany Pine Bush. I want to first, of course, pay tribute to Chris Haber, the Executive Director of the Albany Pine Bush, which is such an important resource for our community, and we have a really wonderful partnership between the Department of Environmental Conservation and the Albany Pine Bush. So thank you so much for being our host today as we talk about a really important topic. So DEC is officially launching our annual burn ban, which kicks into effect on March 16th until May 14th. And this is really important. Of course, we have incredible and dedicated forest rangers at the Department of Environmental Conservation that go out and they risk their lives to take care of our natural resources and those that enjoy them. But really importantly, we want to help keep them safe by all individually practicing fire safety. And this burn ban is a really critical tool that's been highly successful over the years since we first began instituting it to stop wildfires. In fact, the biggest cause of wildfires that we see every year in the springtime, when conditions tend to be dry and there's a lot of debris from the snow melt, we see that the biggest cause of fire is actually people burning their debris. So we want to make sure that people know that there is a ban on this. Please do not burn your debris. Please also don't leave fires unattended. Make sure that they are small and contained and in control. And these are really the core elements of the burn ban. And this burn ban being in place really will help and has historically helped ensure that we do not have too many wildfires that are happening in New York State. And I'll say, actually from over the weekend, we were just down on Long Island where a wildfire broke out in the Pine Barrens because of an open fire that got out of control at a particular residence. And we had our incredible team really assisting with the local governments and ensuring that we can put that out. But that situation could have been much worse. And fortunately, we were able to contain that. But we know that really the best thing to do is prevention. And that's why this burn ban is so important. And that's why every year we make sure that we have a burn ban, and we want to make sure that everybody knows about that. So again, it's March 16th to May 14th. And I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Mitchell, who's going to talk a little bit more about the burn ban and our efforts. Please, Ranger.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Tyler Mitchell. I cover the surrounding area here. So for background, each year Rangers respond to hundreds of wildfires all across the state, and these wildfires consume thousands of acres in some years. When most people think of spring, they're thinking of mud season, and in reality, even if the ground is saturated, the vegetation, the grasses, the leaves from last year are all being exposed to the sun because the leaves that we would normally have on a tree during the summer aren't able to shade that understory. With those grasses and those leaves, coupled with wind especially, these are fine fuels. They dry out really quickly. As soon as you add some wind and an ignition source, they spread rapidly and can consume a large amount of acreage in a short period of time, making them exceptionally dangerous. So what is legal is one of the questions we get a lot. Backyard fires in an enclosed fire pit, any cooking fires, small cooking fires, those types of fires are allowed during the burn ban. You can't burn brush during the burn ban, which is one of our primary sources of wildfire during the springtime. With that, you should always be sure to clear all flammable material within 3 feet. And always never leave your fire unattended. If you are burning openly during the burn ban, you may be subject to a misdemeanor level offense with a minimum fine of $500. Really, Rangers have already responded to 19 wildfires burning over 500 acres this year alone, and it's only early March. By complying with this burn ban, you're going to help reduce wildfires and, decrease our risk to our communities, our volunteer firefighters, and our rangers. So thank you for your compliance. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Ranger. Really importantly, our rangers, as we noted, they're already responding to a lot of incidents all across the state. And we need to keep them focused on where we have emergencies, so everyone really needs to do their part to make sure that we don't have wildfires. Prevention is key. Again, the burn ban goes into effect on March 16th, but I should note that in some places in New York, it is already in effect. And that's on Long Island and in certain counties in the Hudson Valley. So please comply with this burn ban. It is incredibly important to ensure that we're preventing wildfires, and please practice fire safety so that we can continue to use our really important forest rangers where they're absolutely needed, keep people safe, and continue to protect the environment. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming here today. I think we can take a couple of questions.
Any questions on topic about burn ban or about anything that can discuss?
How much does it cost New York State yearly in damages to burn bans? I mean, what kind of outlets does it affect? It can affect homes as well. You could lose a house.
That's right, and I'll turn to the forest ranger if he has any specifics, Lieutenant Mitchell. But importantly, it's true. These wildfires can impact communities, right? I mean, we're really talking about keeping people all across the state safe. And wildfires, as we know, they don't just impact important fire-dependent systems like here at the Pine Barrens, but people's homes, infrastructure, our businesses, our communities, and that's why it's so important that we really focus on prevention so we don't see all that damage and that loss.
Should people try to contain a fire themselves if it breaks out, or immediately call for help?
So most important thing, if there is a fire, keep your fire contained, right? We want to make sure that we're having small bonfires that are contained, not letting that get out of control. But if a fire does get out of control, they should call their emergency services immediately to help respond to that fire.
And if they see the neighbors doing something that might not be legal or prudent, they should also reach out to who?
So they could reach out to DEC's enforcement. We are the ones that enforce this burn ban really importantly. And Ranger, do you want to say anything additional about that?
Yeah, and I would also say you can also reach out to your local 911 centers if there's an immediate threat to life and safety. It's always reach out to your local emergency response.
Any other questions? All right, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All of you. Well, here, but all of you.